I'm Mariana Evanstein. It's good to have you with us. Russia is celebrating Victory Day, marking 75 years since the defeat of Nazi Germany in World War II. This year's observance has been scaled back because of the coronavirus, with the Red Square military parade and a mass procession postponed. Vladimir Putin laid down flowers at the eternal flame near the Kremlin walls before giving a speech to the public. He called for Russians to stand together, saying Russia is invincible when united. Russia also staged an air show with 75 jets and helicopters flying over Moscow in a single formation, showcasing the country's most advanced warplanes. There are flyovers planned in 47 cities across the country. And DW correspondent Emily Sherwin is covering the commemoration, and she joins us now from Moscow at Red Square. Hello to you, Emily. So these celebrations in particular, 75 years since the end of the Second World War, they were intended to be really bombastic and kind of a boost to President Vladimir Putin. We know he just made a short speech at the eternal flame near the Kremlin. What was his message this year?
Well, I think the interesting thing about Putin's speech this year is that he didn't mention the coronavirus at all. He did say, however, that Victory Day is part of Russian people's souls, and he promised that there would be Victory Day celebrations soon, that they will happen. Now, of course, this day is really an emotional day for many people here. After all, an estimated 26 million Soviet citizens were killed during World War II, and it's also always been an opportunity for Russia and Vladimir Putin, as well as its president, to demonstrate political power and military power as well with that bombastic parade that you just mentioned. And this year, for the 75th anniversary of the celebrations, Putin had hoped that world leaders would attend the celebrations. After all, since the annexation of the Crimean Peninsula from Ukraine in 2014, leaders have largely boycotted the celebrations, but that will not be happening, obviously, with celebrations postponed, and at the moment it's not clear when they will be taking place.
Well, Emily, even if President Putin didn't mention coronavirus in his speech, it is still very much a problem in Russia. The infection rate is spiking. Many Russian citizens are very worried about the pandemic. Are they in a celebratory mood?
Well, it's kind of a sad day, I think, for many Russians. Usually here in the center of Moscow, crowds would have gathered to watch the parade, and crowds would be gathering as well to take part in what is called the Immortal Regiment, where people carry photos of veterans, of their relatives who died during the war and who were affected by the war efforts. That is all only taking place online, and one person I spoke to said that it really doesn't kind of feel like a holiday today, but people have found ways to celebrate. They're celebrating at home. Some people have been giving concerts to veterans from courtyards or from balconies, and people plan to come out and sing wartime songs as well tonight. But just to show you how sad many people are that events are canceled, I met up with a choir who have to stay home during the virus and who usually sang on May 9th. Let's take a look how they feel.
A people's war, a sacred war, they sing. For 7 years now, students and alumni from the Moscow State Institute of Music have gotten together on Victory Day to sing patriotic wartime songs to passers-by outside the Bolshoi Theater. The spot has always been an unofficial meeting place for Victory Day celebrations, which play a key part in Russia's national identity. Maria Klimyonova, one of the singers in the choir, is heartbroken that this year the square will remain empty because of the pandemic. The singing teacher has been coming here for Victory Day since she was a child. She says the choir's tradition lets them be part of something bigger.
A lot of people stop to sing with us, whether it's families or veterans who can still come to the square. That really makes us happy. And we also ask people to join in. Everyone knows these songs. As a musician, I believe it's impossible to have good times or endure bad times in life without music. For me, the 9th of May doesn't exist without the music.
All over Moscow, there are posters commemorating the 75th anniversary of the end of the war, known as the Great Patriotic War here. The decision to postpone the Victory Day parade was one the authorities left till the last moment.
Thousands of troops were preparing for a bombastic military parade on Red Square here behind me until just a month ago. And these yellow lines that serve as lanes for tanks were even freshly repainted despite the pandemic.
For people here, the decision to postpone the official celebrations is emotional.
Am I happy they postponed it? No, but they had to.
People will remember anyway, by learning war poems with kids or doing crafts.
Meanwhile, Maria and the choir aren't letting the pandemic stop them from singing for Victory Day. They're rehearsing online and have recorded the song Katyusha to post on social media. Over 1,000 kilometers away near the Urals, their music is helping some members of the war generation find solace too. This old age home is currently in lockdown, including for Victory Day.
It's a hugely significant holiday. Our people won the war, and we must remember and celebrate that. And there can be no celebration without music.
This choir is keeping the music and memory going in the hope that next year Russians will be able to celebrate offline too.
Well, Emily, there is this lockdown in Russia, but we're hearing that in neighboring Belarus, things are looking quite different. How is that country celebrating Victory Day today?
Well, Belarus has decided to carry out a Victory Day parade, despite the fact that coronavirus cases have been rising there as well. There are over 20,000 infections at the moment in Belarus. It's the only former Soviet country that is holding a parade this year, despite the coronavirus. And Lukashenko, the president of Belarus, has said that if we didn't carry out the parade, people would think we are scared. Now, he, of course, has recommended exercise, vodka, and going to the sauna as a cure or as a remedy for the coronavirus in the past.
All right, we'll have to think about that. Emily Sherwin in Moscow, thank you so much.